everyone, my name is Paige from Limitless Physical Therapy, and I thought I would bring to all of you stuck at home a little instructional yoga video to encourage you to get up and move a little bit. So take a second, you can pause it here, get into something comfy, grab your yoga mat and find a comfortable, quiet spot, and we'll get started. So we'll start at the top of our mat. Take a little bit of space in between your feet and bring your toes closer to your midline than your heels. And we'll take a second to just arrive, kind of feel out our space. Maybe close your eyes and start focusing on your breath. And maybe do a quick body scan. Notice the feeling of your feet against your mat. Notice the feeling of your weight into the mat. Maybe rock back and forth between the balls of your feet and your heels. And find a place where your weight sort of centers in your foot. So not too much in your heels, not too much in your toes, right in the center of your foot. From there, energize up through the legs, but don't lock out your knees. And stack your pelvis right over your heels. On your next inhale, notice where your shoulders are relative to the rest of your body. And see if you can bring those right over your hips. Take another deep inhale and notice your earlobes. See if you can pull those back so that they stack right over your shoulders. One more full breath here. Notice the tiny little movements your body makes to keep you standing upright. And on your next inhale, blink your eyes open and we'll come back to this space. Take a little micro bend in your knees. Keep your knees nice and soft. We'll inhale and bring the arms out and up. Palms will come to touch overhead, and as you exhale, draw your palms down your midline and park them right in front of your chest. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale your arms out and up, expanding. Exhale, draw your palms down into your chest, contracting. Once more, inhale your arms out and up. And exhale, draw them down through center. Now we'll do just half of that once more. So inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, bend at the knees and bend at the waist as you swan dive forward fold. You can plant your hands or fingertips into the mat, but keep your knees bent strongly here. And we'll just kind of let gravity work its way into our muscles. Maybe straighten one leg and then the other. Kind of moving into the hips here, waking up the backs of the legs. Especially if you've been sitting at a desk all day, they might be particularly tight. Maybe grasping opposite elbows and letting the head and neck fall towards the floor. And be generous with how much you bend your legs here. Maybe you bend them so much that your torso actually rests on them. And then come back to your breath. Take a nice full inhale and a nice long exhale. One more time, because it feels so good. Take a nice full inhale. And a nice long exhale. And Next, inhale, bring your hands to shins and lift halfway. So your back will be parallel with the floor. And then exhale, plant both hands into the mat, and we'll step the right foot back, coming into a runner's lunge here. Now inhale, think about shining the chest forward, opening through the collarbones, and exhale fully. Inhale, we'll plant the right hand and open up over our bent leg. Now rooting down through that right arm and stretching up through the top fingertips. Inhale fully here. And exhale, we can fold back over our bent leg, coming into our runner's lunge. Inhale, take both hands on top of that bent leg. And we're gonna set our warrior one up really nicely here. So we're relying deeply on our left hip here. Sometimes it likes to hike up to kind of compensate for the weight of our bodies, but think about drawing that external hip around and down so it'll come down towards the floor. And you might even deepen the bend of your knee here. And one full inhale to prepare, push down into the floor as if you're gonna make a footprint into your mat. Inhale, draw your torso up over your pelvis. Bring the arms out in front of you. And we found our warrior one. And exhale, bring everything back down into the mat. Draw the left foot back to reach the right, to meet the right. And we found our plank position. So push strongly into your arms as if you're pushing the floor away from you and activating through the shoulders. And we're gonna take a nice deep belly breath here. So really breathing and using the diaphragm, it's really gonna activate the core. Inhale fully. Ooh, and exhale fully. Now you can start to walk the feet forward to meet the hands, and we'll come back into our forward fold. So take a little bit of space in between your feet again. Again, bringing the toes just slightly in when compared to the heels. Bend the knees deeply, and we'll come back into our ragdoll forward fold. And just come back to your breath. We did some poses there that were really invigorating, and now we're letting our heartbeat come back down to normal. And slow our breath down. So keeping the knees bent here, we'll bring both hands to the tops of the thighs, and we'll bring our back parallel to the ground. On our next inhale, we'll start to come up to standing by lengthening through the legs, and then bringing the torso up over the pelvis. Inhale the arms out and stretch them nice and long towards the sky. And exhale, palms together, flip them down the midline and plant them right in front of the chest. We might take a full Tadasana here, extending through the arms, palms facing forward, and just close the eyes and take a moment to notice your energy level. How has it changed since the start of this practice? Inhale, blink your eyes open, coming back to the room, and we will do the other side. Inhale the arms out and up. And then bending the knees, bending at the waist, swan dive forward, fold. Inhale, lift halfway, bring the palms to the shins. And exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back. And come into our runner's lunge here. We'll inhale, shine the chest forward, open through the collarbones. And exhale, plant that left hand right next to the right foot. Inhale, twist open, open up to that bent knee. And even here, we can think about drawing that external right hip around and down towards the floor. So don't let it hike up. Exhale, draw both hands into the mat. And inhale, placing one hand right on top of the other, bring them to the top of the thigh. Again, here, we're gonna set this up really nicely before we get into our full warrior one. Press both feet strongly into the mat, again, as if you were gonna leave a footprint there if you got up and walked away. And then draw that right hip, the hip of the bent knee, down towards the mat, maybe bend a little bit more into the front knee. And I'm sure I'm killing you guys, leaving you in this position for so long. So inhale, bring the torso up over the hips. And finally, draw the arms forward and find your warrior one. Exhale everything down into the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Coming into your plank here again. Again, push the floor away from you. Keep the hips nice and high. And we'll take one full belly breath in. So you want to really use your diaphragm here. Really engaging through the core. Nice full inhale. And a full exhale. And take the knees into the mat. Take the hips back towards the heels. And we'll find a nice child's pose here to start to lower energy level. Just coming back to the breath. You might even stack wrists on top of each other and then head on top of your wrist, bringing the floor up to your head so you can relax through the back of the neck. And then just focus on lengthening your inhales and lengthening your exhales. And maybe noticing that spot at the top of the breath after your inhalation and that spot after your exhalation where you pause for a moment. See if you can grow those a little longer too. So inhaling fully, pause for a moment, and exhaling fully, and pause. I invite you to stay here as long as your body is calling for it. I wanted to thank everybody for joining me today, and more to come.